Shifters, my name is Zakia Harris, and today we're going to talk about how to create your own life title. So you might ask, what the hell is a life title, right? Well, a life title is your introduction to the world. It is the way that you define yourself. It is your superhero name. And I use the word superhero very intentionally because we have extraordinary problems facing the planet right now. And we have to be extraordinary humans to address those challenges and to address those problems. And we can no longer just be limited to our day job. We have to bring all of our gifts, all of our strengths, all of who we are to the world. I often use the example if you're walking into a business networking event and you actually start asking people what they do. Most people can't tell you what they do because their job title does not begin to encompass the fullness of who they are and the work that they're doing on the world. Many people have a day job, but they also have a side hustle. They have a side hustle, but they also have a passion project. They have a passion project, but they also maybe do volunteer work. All of us are doing multiple things. Many of us have multiple revenue streams, and that is not going to be any different for the future of work. You know, an average college graduate today will have over 30 different jobs in their lifetime, and they're more than likely to be freelancers or be part of the gig economy, where not only do they have multiple jobs, but they're doing multiple jobs simultaneously. So like our grandparents' generation who got to go to school or just graduate and go into one job, that no longer exists anymore. That paradigm is dead, and it's part of what's breaking. And this new paradigm is looking at the world holistically, is looking at our gifts holistically, is looking at all of the things that we love to do and recognizing that we have to bring all of those pieces forth. Okay, so that is the purpose of a life title. The other piece is, you know, what about if you're a janitor or you're a maintenance person? No offense to any of those jobs, but that's not all of who you are. Your job does not define who you are. Your job does not define your essence. And so we have to start taking the power back from the status quo and realizing that we get to create our own identity. So how do you go about doing that? You first start with your gifts. If you have any questions about how to define your gifts or how to figure out what those are, I did a whole video on gifts and discovering your gifts, so go back and watch that video. Some of my gifts are I'm a maximizer, I'm an activator, I'm a strategist. I love building things. I love taking a project from beginning to end, from an idea to a manifestation. I'm always looking at different ways to build new ways of bringing young people together, of educating folks, of using technology, of coming to work, of new ways of how we can align and be our most authentic selves, new ways of doing music and being creative. Everything in my life, in every aspect of my life, as a mother, as an entrepreneur, as an educator, there's still that building piece that comes into all of those different facets of my life. And I'm not just building for building's sake. I'm building because I actually want to change the status quo. I'm actually trying to disrupt what was and create something new. I'm committed to and passionate about building new ways of thinking, new ways of being, and changing culture. And so that is why I made my life title a cultural architect. An architect is someone that is building things, but I'm building new ways of thinking about culture, cultural identity, because your culture is the foundation. It's part of your worldview, right? That when you're making decisions about who to vote for or what products to buy or what to do with your life, you always come back to your culture, your cultural norms, your cultural identity of the practices that you've been taught. And I believe that many of the practices that we have been taught are not serving the planet. They're not serving people. They're not serving the future, and they're definitely not addressing the problems that our future holds. And so something new has to come forth. And so that is why I made my life title Cultural Architect. Some other titles that I've seen, and I really have to give shout out to the tech industry for this, because the tech industry is one of the first kind of corporate environments that I've ever been part of, that I saw people totally eradicating the old school notion of job titles and just remixing it for themselves. I went to one company and a woman's card said she was a joyologist. That was her life title. She brings joy to any room that she's in. That it was her title. Now, obviously, she had specific things that she was doing at work, tied to specific projects, but it doesn't stop the fact that she brings joy to everything that she does. I've actually encouraged my daughter to create a life title, and her life title is a harmonizer. She's very in tune to energy. She wants everything to be in alignment and in tune and balanced and harmonized. And so that is her life title. She brings harmony into rooms that she's in. She's a harmonizer. I have another friend whose life title is a cultural Jedi. She actually works as an entrepreneur and as an art curator, but she's a Jedi. That's her superhero name, right? So the thing is, have fun with the life title. It's your identity. It's your definition for yourself. It's something that you have the power to choose, and you also have the power to change. I'm actually on my third life title right now, right? I think before I was an activator. I've had different titles. Right now, cultural architect, I'm really feeling it. It's what I use, and I'm loving it. So that's your homework for today, Shapeshifters. Take some time, think about your gifts, and really create your own life title. And I guarantee you, it's so much more exciting when you have a life title to share than a job title. And it really speaks to the fact that we are able to, in the 21st century, create our own identity, because we want to be as much in alignment with who we are and be our most authentic selves. And that comes to how you talk about yourself and how you define yourself. So take some time today and figure it out for yourself. Remember, create your own life title. Okay, that's it for today, Shapeshifters. Until then, keep shifting.